right, we want to welcome you to the 2025 Grafton Area Chamber of Commerce State of the Community Luncheon. My name is Hailey Nenonen. I am with Aurora Medical Center in Grafton, and I am honored to serve as your chamber president. On behalf of the Grafton Area Chamber of Commerce, I would like to welcome you to this event. But before we get started, how about a round of applause for the Grafton School District for hosting us for the second year in a row. Thank you, Jeff. Our technology works, so this is a big deal for us if you've been attending this event for a while. We are also pleased to have representatives from our village board, the town of Grafton, and Grafton School District here with us today. So we're going to go through the list, and we're going to ask you to please stand when I call your name and remain standing, and we ask that the group hold their applause until the end. So Village President Dan Delorit, Village Administrator Jesse Ties, Village Trustees Amy Luft, Jim Mueller, Lisa Harbeck, Assistant Village Administrator and Community Development Director Jessica Wolf, Director of Parks and Recreation Chad Hoyer, Fire Chief Bill Rice, Fire Captain Bobby Kaslik, Assistant Fire Chief Matt Karpinski, Grafton School District Superintendent Jeff Nelson, School Board members Mark Kaler, Steve Nada, and Bob Mallon, other school district representatives Topher Adams, Kara Kane, Jamie Schofield, Julia Leeson, and Rick Seibold. All right, let's give them a round of applause. Thank you for being here. And I do want to say, if you are a community leader here today and you are not on the list, we appreciate you being here. It's just that I printed this document at 12 p.m. yesterday. So that's where we landed. All right, so we are coming together today to really talk about what we've seen in the last year and what is to come. And 2024 was a great year for our community, and we know that 2025 will bring many new and exciting developments for the chamber, or for this community, including the chamber's 50th anniversary. So the team has some great opportunities and events coming for you, so please stay tuned. It's going to be a really great year for the Grafton area, and our chamber is doing a great job to showcase that. So a little bit about our organization. Our chamber is led by a dedicated group of board of local business people representing various segments of our chamber membership, all of whom are involved in a variety of organizations throughout our community. So at this time, I am going to introduce our board. So if you are here, please stand. And again, let's hold our applause as we get through the list, and then thank folks for being here. So Vice President, President-elect Becky Schimpf with Horicon Bank, Treasurer Mike Donahue, Donahue & Associates, Secretary Kim Meisinger, the Bloom and Olive. Also, I believe to thank for these beautiful centerpieces. Past President Mary Karnitz, Port Washington State Bank. Dustin Beck, U.S. Bank. Amanda Hansen, Hampton Inn and Suites. Bruce McKilney Button Law. Shelley Polam, Ram Tool. Ashley Bonnier, Fleet Farm. Jody Collins, Edgewater Golf Course and Bunkers Restaurant. John Worth, Digital Edge of Grafton, and Dan McKelvey, Investment Center of Grafton. Thank you for being here. And we're just gonna do one more round of applause as I get through these names. And this should be the biggest one that we give. This really is for the team that is bringing this all to you, the chamber team. They work every day to make this community shine, and we are so thankful for them. Elizabeth Mueller, Executive Director, Milena Struckman, Special Events Tourism Promotion Coordinator, and Leslie Conover, our Administrative Assistant. The biggest round of applause for them. So the Chamber is proud to represent 365 active members. In fact, we welcomed 28 new members in 2024. So if you are here joining us today, we just want to thank you for taking the time, and we hope you find value in your membership and really exist to help you build your business and build your connections. So thank you for joining us, and we hope you enjoy today. So as you can see on our slide, our diverse membership represents the many business segments of Grafton and the surrounding area, and that variety continues to expand. So for those of you up in the front that like to do fast math, Please note that some of our members are represented in more than one segment, so that's why our totals are a bit skewed, but you can see we have a great makeup within this chamber, which really just makes the chamber stronger. The more diverse we are, the more opportunity there is to showcase the Grafton area as a great place to live, work, and play. So with that, at this time, it is my pleasure to introduce Dan Delorit, our village president.
We're very grateful to be here and to be able to talk about the great things, all things great in Grafton. My wife and I'd like to introduce my wife, Lisa. She has been a driving force between helping me understand my role and balancing my family life. I greatly appreciate all the work she's done, so thank you very much. In addition, I'd like to also mention Chief Caponera. Chief, if you would stand up for a second. You swallow first, it's all good. Chief is also here today, and I wanted to make sure that he had an introduction. So, thank you very much. Glad to have you guys here. So, let's talk a little bit about what's going on in Grafton. First of all, it's been a fantastic year in Grafton. I have to tell you something. I get around quite a bit to a variety of communities, and I'm proud to say that Grafton is the place people want to come to live, to put their businesses, and also to shop. The reason that we're there is because we have a great amount of community services, a fantastic school district that continues to lead the community in great education. So this is a part of work that we all work on. I also want to thank the village board. The village board does a fantastic job of bringing very difficult things to our to discussion. And I have to be proud enough to say that the village board generally agrees the majority of the time, which is fantastic. We really agree on what needs to be done. But there's also another thing is we do disagree on things, and we like to see that as well because we have very good spirited debates. I go forward here. Just a couple of initiatives that I put in place as village president. I spend about 12 to 20 hours a week in village activity. I very much have a great relationship with our village staff, and we're very, very happy to have the staff that we have here. They work really hard, and they keep me and the rest of the village board up to date on what's going on. I see that Assemblyman Melitik is here. And I want to thank him because we have over the last couple of years, the last year, actively engaged our state, county, and federal partners in this to really be able to work out issues that maybe are slowing down. For example, if we have an issue with the Department of Transportation who says, geez, we'll get back to you in a couple of weeks. You know, if it's important to us, we reach out to Assemblyman Melitik, and usually what happens within the next day, we get a call from the DOT. The same with the DNR. If we have an issue with the DNR that maybe they're a little bit overwhelmed, we get an answer, and I greatly appreciate our relationship. As far as working with the county, we have a variety of really good supervisors here in the county who we have reached out to this year to come to work with them on funding for our fire department, to help us with the ARPA funds that initially came to us. And then I think we kind of stepped back on that a little bit as a county. And I think between Fire Chief Rice and myself and the supervisors, we were able to get them to get us a little bit more money so we could transition that ARPA money in. So again, I think it's really important to engage people. I think it's really important for us to be able to work in conjunction with other people. In addition, I'm happy to say that we're apolitical. We met with both of the incoming, both of the candidates for Senate in the state of Wisconsin. We also did with the Assembly. So we really want to be able to work as partners with either party on issues that are important to the village of Grafton. The other thing I'd like to be able to do is when somebody reaches out to us or to the village board is to be able to get back with them within 24 hours. I have over 200 contacts a year that reach out to me that ask me for questions. And you know, realistically, I don't have the answers to all the questions, but I can put them in contact with the various departments. I've even, at times, I've even stopped over at people's houses just to say, hey, you know what, I know you're upset about that traffic. I know you're upset about how things go on 60, but this is what we're doing to help you with these things. We engage citizens with invitations to public meetings, holding town hall meetings, and publishing the quarterly from the desk of the village president. All of this is an attempt to continue to communicate with the people of Grafton. Generally, this year we spent about 27 hours engaging with the community through quarterly meetings and also with the fire department referendum. Lastly, I think the key to understanding village government is to educate people. The more we educate, the more we engage, and it's paramount. Let's talk a little bit about community profile. One thing that people think, and I hear a lot, is we are out of control growing with population. Well, I'm going to be the first one to tell you, not really. What we had from 23 to 24, which is the last census we had, we grew about 130 people. Now, the average size of a family is about 2.2 people per family. So in reality, in that period of time, we grew 30 families. That's not what I call explosive growth. However, we are in fact growing, which is a great thing. The equalized value of our village was a 22% increase from 2024 at $1.95 billion. Our assessed village tax rate was $7.04 per thousand. That was up about 91 cents, actually about $1.01. 91 cents of that was because we all agreed we needed reliable fire and emergency services, right? 65 to 35 on a vote. So that funding that we have has helped us drive a consolidated fire department. We have continued very high residential development activity, which is great, because people don't realize that we do have a housing shortage, not only in the county, not only in the state, but within the nation. So our goal is to smartly, that's a bad choice of words, but to smartly execute a plan which gives us residential properties. Lastly, we've had some fantastic growth in our commercial activity throughout the village. Again, we're seeing a growing downtown. We've had some beautiful additions, which I'll come through, to businesses downtown. Our East Business District is growing very well as our South Business District. So these are great things that are happening in our community. As a business person, I can tell you, I do a small business, and it's interesting, the number of people who come to our area to get my service. And the first thing they'll say is, you know, I'm from Sheboygan, I'm from West Bend, I'm from Kenosha, I'm from Germantown. I want to get over to Grafton because the shopping is great. I get to go to Costco. So the great thing is that we have businesses that draw people to this area, which is fantastic. Let's talk a little bit about our community development. First of all, let's talk about housing. We have multiple sites that are being developed. First, Riverbend Meadow, that is in the area Port Washington Road. And Jessica, I think we're, okay, Salsa Falls Road, thank you very much. We have a total of 112 single-family home lots. Phase 1's completed, Phase 2's completed, Phase 3's completing, and the final phase, which is Phase 4, which is up along Port Washington Road, will be finishing in 2025. Housing on Shady Hollow. Shady Hollow is at kind of on Green Bay Road and Pleasant Valley Road. Phases 1 through 4 are complete, 5 and 6 are under construction. Phase 7 is starting in 2025. Housing for Stonewall Farms in the Glen. Total of 97 single-family home lots. Phase 1, 5 lots remaining. Phase 2 is complete. Phase 3, 3 lots. You guys can read the rest here. Total of condo units, we have 88 total condo units. Phases 1 and 2 complete. Phases 3 to 5 are under construction. So not just single families, but also condos. Housing on Harmony Grove. Harmony Grove, a lot of people go like, well, what's Harmony Grove? Harmony Grove is on Green Bay Road. It is approximately south of Hickory. It's a small piece of property, about 4 acres, that the village owned at one time to develop a new aquatic center. Unfortunately, we found that there was limestone directly under the underground, which basically meant we would have to do a lot of blasting to put a pool in there. Well, we did sell that last year, and a developer did buy it, and they're building a very interesting they're pocket houses, very high-end pocket houses. On that 3 acres, or 3.5 acres, there will be 12 homes, a retention pond, and also a private road going in there. So it's very unusual, but very nice looking homes, and I'm happy to say that they're above ground on at least 2 of those houses. So they're moving along very quickly. Hawks Ridge. Hawks Ridge is the area south of Cedar Creek Road that joins Stonewall Farms. This is not yet built out, but it has been approved for 128 single-family homes and a potential for condo development. Phase 1 is under construction. We're working on connection to the water tower and also a future park in that area. Seasons. Who misses the Seasons? That's south of Falls Road. It's that big development with luxury apartments. That has come along very nicely. We have a total of 280 apartments. The clubhouse is complete. I think they've started moving people in there. So at night, if you drive past there, you'll start seeing lights, which is a good thing. Again, we all think that it's all about residential, but there are people out there who do want to live in high-end apartments. And these are really nice apartments. I can tell you they've been a joy to work with, because right now they have already come out and scheduled all of their final construction inspections throughout the rest of this year and into next year. So very well organized. That we hope to be completed development by the end of 2025. Housing Farmstead on the Falls. Farmstead on the Falls is north of Falls and east of Port Washington Road. That's a total of 172 apartments. We're glad to see they came back to us because they were on hold for a while, given the financing issues, and they have said they're going to start construction in spring. And traffic signal that's going to be on Falls and Port Road is being planned for this summer. That's pretty much our development. That's a lot of development, isn't it? Well, that's because there's a shortage of housing, and we are at the cusp of great development. And I'm very happy to say that we're following our comprehensive plan. And our comprehensive plan will be updated to 2050 coming up this year. Okay, let's go over to business. All right, when's Chick-fil-A coming? Well, that's the big question we get. And, you know, the funny thing is, most of the questions I get are about restaurants. And there are a couple of things people say. We don't have enough sit-down restaurants. And I'm going to say false. We've got some sit-down restaurants, and that's a good thing. Chick-fil-A, we'd love to see built as soon as possible. However, right now, they're kind of putting things on hold because the bank, who, you know, if anybody pays attention to Facebook, nobody wants another bank except the banks, right? Kidding. But the fact of the matter is the bank that was in there, that had originally in for development, kind of said they aren't going to develop it. So Chick-fil-A is looking for someone else. So we hope to see some activity on this later in 2025. But again, I think it's just a developer issue that they're just trying to find another vendor. Let's talk about Dr. Grisar's office in commercial. This is on Port Road. And what we're looking at is a 6,200 square foot dental office set back off of Port Road, starting construction in spring. In addition to that, he's also going to be, the Grisar Dental Office will also be having 9,200 square feet of commercial right on Port Washington Road. That construction is slated for 2026. So again, potential for 4 smaller businesses to go in there for more retail space. Again, following our comprehensive plan of utilizing Port Washington Road as a retail area. Let's talk about Chase Bank and Dave's Hot Chicken. So we all know that the businesses come and go, and so do restaurants. So the Charcoal Grill decided it was probably going to be a lot easier for them. The owners of that property thought it would probably be easier for them to tear that down and have a different business development. And that was the 3,200 square foot Chase Bank. Of course, who needs a bank? We all need a bank. So Chase Bank developed, and the person who had that piece of property also promised us a restaurant in the future, a player to be named later. So what happened is we found out recently is a national chain, Dave's Hot Chicken, wants to develop it, build. Now it's not going to be a drive-through, it's going to be a sit-down restaurant, kind of, sort of, a quick service restaurant, and that will be going in on the south end of the property of where Charcoal Grill was. That was Dave's Chase Bank. That's going on the north side, which is right on Highway 60 and Port Road. On the other end, it'll be Dave's Hot Chicken. And if you want more information on Dave's Hot Chicken, I've been there. They've got a great website, and you can get hot chicken. I think you even have to sign a waiver to get their hottest chicken. So Can't wait for that. All right, the other nice development on Port Washington Road is a great business partner, Parker John's Barbecue and Pizza. Now, 95% of their business is barbecue, so for those of you who don't like pizza, another pizza restaurant, think of this as a small pizza restaurant. And it's two-story, which is going to be absolutely gorgeous on 8,300 square feet. That construction will start in spring. In addition, these are the new businesses we have. We're very happy to see Cara Marie's Boutique here, beautiful place. Rahima Mental Wellness, Bricarlo Crepe and Cafe, Shopco Optical, Full Bloom Wellness, BSG Lounge, Ember Social, which I believe will be having members and muffins next week on the 21st. So sign up and get in there. It's a beautiful place to stay, and they have great muffins. We also have Alati Salt and Light, that's on Green Bay Road. Casey Key Pub, who went into the cocktail. Yeah, there you go, Martini Pizza. I've only been there once, and it was a strong martini. Pub 60 is actually a small, pizza restaurant, a very small pizza restaurant that's going to be operating out of the Citgo gas station. Hot Works, which of course you can get a workout in the sauna all at the same time, and Silver Lake Auto and Tire Center. Again, it's very impressive to see for a community add this many businesses. So great work, and we're pleased to have them here. Full community service, let's talk a little bit about recreation. This is the crown jewel of our community on the lake, on the river, not on the lake, on the lagoon, on the river. 5,478 square foot building, open air picnic area. This is the new Veterans Park Pavilion, the gorgeous pavilion. And again, it's in the heart of our village. A lot of time and effort have been put into that. It was a complete community involvement from a variety of service clubs, and also a great amount of work done by citizens. This will be opening, I believe, for reservations in March. So that's really great. And also the nice thing is a lot of our ARPA funds went into this, which is fantastic. In addition, we did get some very large donors from our corporate area that helped decrease the costs for the village. It's going to be a fantastic place, much like, and also I see, wait a second, Elizabeth, was that a touchdown? Touchdown, and also we had a very, very nice donation from the Chamber of Commerce. We are eternally grateful for you. I hope that makes up for my omission. Does it? Okay, 2 thumbs up. We're good. So thank you very much. Full service community, let's talk about operations, because we've had some changes in our operations. First of all, let's start on the bottom. We have a live online citizens portal, which is fantastic. So if in fact, Steve, if you want to have the leaves or the brush picked up in front of your house, all you have to do is go online and you sign up with your address, and our Department of Public Works will come and pick it up. Fantastic online portal. Chief, if you see a bad pothole, you can go on there and put a complaint about that, and that will go to Public Works. If you have any issue that's out there, our online portal, citizen portal, is on the village website. So it really helps us save time and energy, and it gives you feedback onto where we are within that process. We are looking, of course, with all of this building, it's important for us to know we do in fact share a lot of our services with other communities. So we share building inspection services and fire protection services, of course, with the village of Saukville. So with all of the building going on in Grafton and all the building going on in Saukville, what do we need to add? We need to add a part-time building inspector. So stand by, we may be doing some more creative work with other municipalities to see if we can in fact fill that. Utility administrative assistant. This has been long overdue. We have somebody who is actually at the water and sewage utility who can actually help our assistant director be able to conduct business. And just in case somebody wants to talk, actually wants to go into the sewage treatment plant and talk to somebody about it, she'll be there to help. So that's a great addition. I think Mr. Krieger, who was the past utility director, used to have somebody like that. And yep, and it's very, very helpful as part of helping the utility director or the assistant director get the work done. Finally, we are going to be adding a police department patrol officer. I believe it's been about 20 years since we added a new patrol officer. We're looking at adding that patrol officer sometime mid-year. I think it's long overdue. It'll give us the opportunity to deal with a number of issues that certainly come up in law enforcement, which is our law enforcement folks get tired, they get sick, they have injuries. And we've actually been operating at a deficit with police officers in this community. I think we've been down about 4 at one time, right, Chief? 6? We were down 6 police officers on a force of 23. Now I think we're down 1-ish. We're down 1. We're almost up to full strength, which is great. And I also have to throw something out to Chief. We have one of the most diverse police departments in this area. Done a wonderful job of hiring people who really fit. And we aren't taking shortcuts. We're hiring good people. So hats off to you, Chief. I really appreciate that. Full service community. Let's also talk a little bit about I went the wrong way, sorry. We go to operations. Also, kudos to the chief and to the police department. There are 564 police departments within the community. He is one of 54 of the agencies who just went through accreditation. And that's phenomenal. That took a great deal of work. We're very, very fortunate to have a police department that's been accredited and recognized by a peer group for outstanding performance. Also, they just recently received a CIVMIC Member Innovation Award for the police department for a sensory room project. That sensory room project helps people who have sensory disorders to be able to be put into a safe space that allows them to, kind of have a little bit of a warm space to wind down, which is a kind of good thing. Maybe I've got it a little bit wrong, Chief, but I think it's for people with sensory issues, correct? Yep. Thank you very much, Chief. I appreciate that. Also in operations, so what about our roads? They're awfully bumpy, aren't they? Well, we've last year we completed 1.9 miles of street reconstruction. We currently have about 65 miles of road in Grafton and about 110 miles of sidewalks. It's a lot. 1.9 miles of streets were reconstructed. 2 miles were resurfaced. By resurfacing these roads, what we have is we have the ability to prolong the life of these roads. 11,000 square feet of sidewalks replaced. Finally got the Highway 60 bridge lights fixed, didn't we? If you travel out at night, it's nice to see that bridge lit up. We put a lot of work into that, and also we worked with Paul Melitic a little bit with having the DOT actually try to respond to us to tell us what kind of light poles we can have on that bridge. So thank you very much, Paul. We repaved the downtown parking lot with a new, easier to navigate layout. And also our AMI meter conversion project, 620 water meters were exchanged and 99 new meters were installed. Continuing on operations, we did start with a TID increment financing number 6. It was adopted July 23rd, 2024. The first priority in that is to get rid of a horrible eyesore, which is the old foundry on 11th and North Avenue, correct? It's the old foundry that's actually falling apart. Originally, we were hoping somebody would turn that into condos, but the roof failed, so now we got to tear it down. And once we have enough funds coming from TID 6, one of the our first priority there is to demolish the Goldberg foundry. And then there's also, once we have enough funding in there, there will be a future grants program for residential business and residents and businesses for facade improvements. Full service community. Oh, let's talk about the OCFD, right, Chief? What a lot of work, huh? It's a ton of work. Well, about 2.5 years ago, we started on a process where we engaged the town of Grafton, the village of Saukville, and the town of Saukville to come up with a plan to consolidate our fire departments. As a matter of fact, it started even bigger than that. We were looking for Port Washington to join us and Cedarburg to join us. They went their different ways, and we as 4 communities stuck together. I can't tell you the number of meetings we had, probably about 2 hours of meetings every week to really coordinate and negotiate how this all came together. And it was a challenge because we all had to come up with how much we were going to spend. We all had to go to our public and ask them for additional funding so we could have additional fire and rescue services. We're very proud that, Chief, as of January 1st, you guys have put in a ton of work too. And now we are under the services of the Ozaki Central Fire Department. It is such a out-of-box thinking for us that we have had numerous requests from other counties on how we put this together. So this is true consolidation. This is true cooperation through multi-jurisdictions. The Village of Grafton is going to continue to support the OCFD with human resources, financing, accounting, and vehicle maintenance. We're very proud to say that OCFD is in place as a result of a great deal of work from not only our fire department, not only our village board, our fire board, but also from the citizens of Grafton and the town of Grafton who really put the money where it should be. The other thing that a lot of people don't understand is the Timothy Wooden building. That's the old high school next to the library. That building was originally overseen by NSAA, the North Shore Academy of Arts. They wanted to get out of that contract in June, and Jessie has found another operator who was willing to take that over, and she has made wonderful strides in continuing that building and that building's legacy. She's put a lot of work into that building, who saves us time and money, and we're hopeful that there's going to be space in there potentially for the Grafton Historical Society. But again, that's up to you guys in the Historical Society. I know that that was one of our big pushes, is to make sure almost every trustee was in agreement. We needed to save that building and continue operations in that building. Lastly, as I spoke about, we continued building inspection services with the Village of Saukville, which is mutually beneficial for both of our communities. So with that, I'd like to thank all of you for your attention. I know it got a little bit long, but again, we're really proud of the work that we've done as a community, not only in the leadership, the village board, our staff, and the work we've done with our partners in the community. So with that, I say thank you, and here's to a great 2025.
Thank you so much. And now we would like to welcome Lester Bartel, Town Chairman, to provide us with some updates on the town of Grafton. So this goes kind of there you go.
All righty.
To the right.
To the right. I'm going to let Jeff point them for me.
Oh, thanks.
Here you go.
Be happy to.
I'm a grandpa, and technology passed me by a long time ago. The smartphone is much smarter than me. So thank everybody for coming out for this annual event. I'll try to keep this short. I apologize for my tardiness, but I still work and work happens. So appreciate you moving the schedule around for me. So obviously welcome from the town board, our supervisors, Tom Grabo, Tom Sikora, Mrs. Karen Stockwell, and Jeff Toma. Go ahead, Jeff. A couple facts about the town of Grafton that may be of interest. The median age of our residents, you can see, is 43.1 years. Median income of a town household at $84,167. 97.9% of our residents have a high school diploma or higher. Our assessed valuation of $984 million now puts us in striking distance. I expect after next year we will, for the first time, hit $1 billion in assessed valuation. Our growth has been, we have planned for 30 years under our growth program to have slow, deliberate growth in the town, not so fast that it upsets the tea kettle of everybody who's used to living in the town environment, but not to keep up with times and changes in logistics, both from what people want, the next generation who wants to live here, and to keep an eye on the future. Again, just a quick graph that just shows the growth and assessed valuation of the town. And I think what this shows is that it isn't just a town, obviously. It's a lot of the things Dan talked about. We really are communities. I mean, people come to the township, and the amenities that come from the surrounding cities and villages are obviously a great attraction to that. You know, we have in Grafton, we have just a wonderful school district that's highly respected and desired. When I go around, I deliver about 70 to 80 welcome baskets to new residents a year. And one of the first questions I get asked if they've got young children is about the schools. In addition to that, we have 2 parochial schools, Lutheran and two Lutheran and 1 Catholic parochial schools, also highly rated schools in their own evaluation. So people have a choice, a lot of options here. One of business development, Tires Unlimited, the old Grafton Mobile, moved out to the old Shell Home site on Port Washington Road. A nice upgrade for that area down there. That area was starting to get a little bit slow, and that's a great addition to the community. This development is a rendering of what's going to be going south of Lakefield Road and Port Washington Road. These are business condos. This is the first phase. These things are kind of unique. You buy these things, they're not rented, they're not storage units. And this whole development is aimed at very high-level car collectors. I mean, there's $500,000 cars in these things, and the white building is an old shed storage building that was there that they're converting like to a meeting area, display area. They can have shows. Very excited about this thing as it moves forward. Another building, Olaflex. This is going in over where one of the buildings where the old Great Lakes boat storage was on Port Washington Road. They're going to be processing hemp oil, and they're wholesalers. They're not retailers. They're setting up now to produce to be selling to people who would, manufacture this stuff further. That's been kind of a long going. There's a lot of permitting goes into that and review from objecting agencies and such, but they're doing a good job and should be up and running. This is just a real quick shot, a rendering of, this will be the new town hall we'll be moving into out at the corner of Port Road and Falls Road. This is the vestibule area in front. We're far enough with construction now that I've been told that at the end of next week, the cleaning people are coming in to clean up after. We have some of our IT stuff is going in already. Next thing we'll be working on furnishings, and I expect sometime late spring, early summer, we'll be probably moving in there. So this is a rendering of the Styx Gulf that's going to be going out on the old Tesker land, which is just east of Ghost Town and Chief River Nursery. That parcel of land has presented some challenges to developers over the years because of the numerous wetlands scattered all over. And this is just a wonderful use. It was a business that fit that site. The Hughes brothers grew up here in the town, in the village of Grafton. They have a operating facility like this in the village of Germantown that's very, very successful. You'll be able to go to this thing, and through their simulators, you'll be able to golf just about every major golf course in the world. I didn't realize what this was until I seen it, and a couple of our commissioners are familiar with their facility, but really going to be a beautiful addition. As always, we try to keep our allocations to keep up with paving roads. We try to pave a mile of town. When I say pave a mile of town road every year, I'm talking about completely reconstructing. We know we have to build a mile of town road to last 40 to 50 years. So, I mean, it's expensive. It's $400,000 to $450,000 just to surface a mile of town road. And we have Foxtail Lane on there for coming up this year, but there's a possibility that might get switched to Pleasant Valley Road. Town staff and village staff will be working along with Bob Tillman, who has the developments out there. They'd like to see that done, and we might be able to switch that around and get that taken care of this year, which is very pleasing to us because Pleasant Valley Road is one of the most dangerous roads right now in the community because it's been tunneling in the driving lanes. You've got blind spots on hills. It's time to get that thing done and redone for everybody's good. Like I said, continue to support Chamber of Commerce. Elizabeth and her staff have just been outstanding. And whenever I stop in there, they're so friendly and greeting and a lot of information, good information for us. They really are. When Pam left, we thought, what's going to happen? And Pam assured us that this is going to, she left something good, and Elizabeth's going to make it better. You're doing that. Thank you. We'll continue to work with them. The former Grafton Fire Department, now the OCFD. Again, as Dan said, that was quite an effort, but when you look at what we accomplished in 2 years, took North Shore Fire Department 12 years to do, a lot of cooperation there. We've got excellent people on that fire board from every community, and I really trust that year or two from now, everybody's going to be very, very proud of what they see operating there. Grafton Library is obviously received some attention because of, we filed to leave the library agreement. There's a lot of misinformation about that going around, so I'm just going to spend a brief time explaining it. The budget for the library went up 15% a year, 3 years in a row. And for us, that's substantial money. It bumped us right up against what they call the alternative minimum library tax. And if you don't know what that is, under state law, any non-library community pays a mill rate tax. It's paid to the county and distributed that way to all the libraries based on usage. We're at the point where what we were putting in and looking, if this happens again the next 2 to 3 years, we're going to be far in excess of that amount. And that kind of budget impact on a small town with a $2.5 million budget is extensive. We weren't getting a whole lot of cooperation and feedback in addressing that. So there's a good way to get people's attention. So we've got it. And our two library board members, Jeff Toma and Mary Gozaver, have been working very, very hard at reviewing the library agreement, which went back to 1986. Almost looked like it was written on parchment paper and a quill pen. It was apropos for that time, but it's not apropos for this time in the 21st century, and have coming up with a proposal. Last night we had our town board meeting. We went into closed session, reviewed that. It's in the hands of legal right now, and we expect next month to have at least an outline draft proposal to propose, and at that time we'll call a joint meeting of the village board, the town board, the library board, and the Friends of the Library. We'll present that. We think we've come up with something that will be good for us, protect us for budget surprises, good for the library. We'll have them a consistent, known yearly cash inflow from the town, and more importantly, keep all of the town's contribution in the USS Liberty Memorial Library. Because and quite honestly, for us, there's nothing to gain either way. Because if we go out, we're going to pay the same amount. The difference is the library would not get all of that money, because then there would be a lot of outflows to other libraries because we're not in this joint library agreement. So that would cut into the library's net income. So we'll be looking forward to see that coming. We've got until June to have something done. I don't see any reason hopefully by March, we should have an agreement ready to sign. So that's really all I have for that. The town is doing well. There's a lot of exciting things going on. It's exciting seeing what's going on in the village. I get a lot of calls. People think that's us, and I always got to tell them blame Dan. But otherwise, no. We're happy to be here. That we have this relationship with the village of Grafton, and now with the village of Saukville and town of Saukville. It's pretty exciting. It's kind of unique. One other thing I need to let people know about is that the town has been a training ground for years for the professionals that serve us. Sarah Jacoby, our clerk, joined us 4 years ago, and in them 4 years has achieved certified municipal clerk certification, grown in the job. And it's what's happened again is what usually happens. Somebody else who needs a clerk has offered her way more money and a better benefit package than we have, and she will be leaving us at the end of January and working for the town of Cedarburg. And I'm going to be sending Eric a box of coal sometime really soon. But we're working to make arrangements so that we're covered in the clerk position, and we'll be looking to fill that going forward. So I expect if you are working with us on something, be a little patient with us. Over time, we'll get it figured out. We have good professional staff that'll be helping us in the meantime as well. So with that, thank you, Elizabeth, all of your staff. I think there's one more. Is there one more? There isn't. Okay. All of your staff there you go. There you go. I wanted to acknowledge all of you by name, so there you all are. Thank you. You do work very hard. And God, there's exciting things goes on. The village is kind of a cool place now to visit. We really enjoy being part of the community. I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the school district as well for the financial management they have done with their resources over the last 4 or 5 years. We got a lot of questions this year. More people walk into the town office to pay their taxes from probably any other community around here. It's because Bonnie bakes about 2,000 Christmas cookies every year, and she puts them on, and so they all come in for cookies. But listening to the comments when people have come in, we all think we know, everybody knows what we know, they don't. Why are our taxes up? But we've been able to point out to people, if your property has stayed consistent in the town, that's barring a major addition to your home, adding property, this is the first time since 2014 that your property tax bill is higher than the year before. And a lot of that has to do with the management of Jeff, his team, and Topher managing the resources of the school district. Because when I look around this room, there's a handful of us that are old enough to remember the bad old days. And a lot of you aren't old enough to remember when school taxes were going up 9 to 10% every year on your tax bill. And the paradigms have changed, but having good people managing your tax money, being good stewards of your tax money, brings what most people want in any community, and that's stability. And we have that, and hats off to you guys and our friends at the county for doing the same. We live in a pretty good place. We have a lot for what we pay in our membership dues. And I kind of remind people that when I said, those aren't really your taxes here. Those are your membership dues. You belong to a community. That community needs resources to live here, just like an HOA or anything else. We're your board of directors of your corporation, and it's our job to be good stewards of your tax money, and that's what we try to do, and still provide good services in a healthy, happy, safe community. So thank you, everybody, for listening to me ramble. That's just what I do. I'm a grandpa. Take care. Oh, you don't need that. You need this. Got it?
Thank you, Chairman Bartel. All right, Jeff, the floor is yours.
Great.
So I shouldn't ask Lester to advance my slides, is what you're telling me? Thanks, everyone, for letting me come and speak about the great things happening in our district. This is my 9th year as superintendent in the Grafton School District. I have a daughter who just graduated from Grafton High School and is a freshman at MATC in Madison for nursing. And I have a son that's a sophomore who just finished exams today. So he is halfway through sophomore year. Want to give a special thanks to Elizabeth and her team for putting this event together. Congratulations on 50 years as a chamber. Great milestone there. We appreciate the partnership we have with you and all the members that are here and the help that you provide to our students and the great career opportunities that you give us. Also want to thank Lester and Dan and Hailey for their leadership in our community. Lisa, I'll look right at you so you can get a good picture of me. There we go. You can edit it. If you could filter it, that'd be great. I do want, and Lester, every once in a while we get together for breakfast, and I do appreciate the historical perspective he shares and the work that he's done in Grafton, and it's been a good partnership over the last 9 years there. So we have our mission, vision, and our motto for our district, and everything revolves around every student every day. So it goes into our strategic plan. Teachers actually use it against us when we have decisions that they don't agree with. Well, is this best for every student every day? Which is an awesome thing. That's what you want people. This is what our motto is, and are we living out our motto? And if we aren't, then call us out on that. We have a great board. Blair Jamison was not introduced, not because he's not great, but because we didn't introduce him. And Amanda Mack was also, who's our Director of Pupil Services, was also not introduced. So I appreciate their leadership. But we do. When I talk to our staff, when you look at school boards and you read in the papers, there's horror stories that go on with those things. It's a thankless job, and we have 7 people who really are really good at it, who really keep the focus on students, helping students be successful, keeping the focus on staff, preparing students for college, career, and being life ready. And I always talk about how great it is to have 7 people that I really like being my bosses, so I appreciate that. Last year we had some guests. So the last time we've met, we had some guests come to our district. So we had Superintendent Jill Underly, who is the state superintendent of schools, and you can see her talking to Ben Valdez, one of our seniors. In March, she came to look at career technical education. And what are we doing in our CTE programs? Looks like she's looking at brake calipers there. And then we had U.S. Senator Ron Johnson come and speak to our John Long Middle School FBLA group and our high school U.S. history students about being involved in politics. And we also had State Senator Dewey Strobel come and look at our ELA curriculum and the work that we're doing with that, the results that we're getting. We've had over a dozen school districts come and look at the work that we're doing at our elementary schools as people are focusing on elementary reading and that reading efficiency. And so we're great to have those people visit us. We also had some awards that were recognized. The WTA recognized our Woods teacher, Kevin Gain, as Educator of the Year. The Chamber recognized Nick Fullington as one of the 4 under 40. And then also our board president, Steve Nada, was also recognized as Grafton's Outstanding Citizen. Last year we had 6 retirees, which is a big number for us. And with some really good people who did some great things in our district for a long period of time. Doug Arndt in music, Susie Beatty, one of our speech paths, Fran Grant at GHS Science, and she did the PLTW for us. Bob Perry was a Kennedy 4th grade teacher. Mike Ritker, 33 years at the high school in math, and Brenda Selo, our family consumer science, for 21 years. So some great people that we lost. Always an opportunity to bring great people into our system, but those people did some great things for our students and for our community. So with our 6 retirees, which is a little larger than normal, and our increased enrollment, so we requires more teachers, you can see our new teachers are a little larger than what it's been in the past, but we continue to see really strong pools of people that are interested in working in our district, which we appreciate. We continued our tradition of recognizing staff members. So it's 5, 10, and all the way up. How many of you were alive 50 years ago? Raise your hand, Topher. Topher's not helping your median age, Lester. We have a staff member that has been in our district 50 years. So Patty Shepard was a teacher at GES, retired from that, and became an aide. And so this is a banner that we put in each of our buildings, and at the end of the year, we always celebrate those people for next year. So it's like, you're gonna be on the banner next year, so we have a party at my house and invite them. And Patty at the time said, next year, Jeff, I want that banner. Patty, anyone who stays for 50 years, you can, yeah, whatever. You can have 2 banners. 50 years is a really long time, but we appreciate everyone. It's fun to see, especially at the high school, with students looking back on their elementary or middle school teachers and remembering memories that they have with them, and you'll see kids talking about that. But whether you're a teacher, a custodian, a secretary, an administrator, whatever it may be, whatever your role is in our district, you play a big part of every student every day, and so we recognize you for your years of service. We on the Wisconsin DPI district report card in our academic area, we were ranked number 16 out of 366 districts across the state. Our Vision 2030 has 4 areas of focus of exemplary culture, stakeholder engagement, fiscal stewardship, and student engagement and growth. And it's all around the motto of every student every day, with the vision being of helping students be college, career, and life ready. So wherever students need to be at as they leave our district, are they ready for that next step? Our high school was ranked again as one of the top high schools in the nation, ranked number 17 in Wisconsin. For the 2nd year in a row, we were recognized as a top workplace. So we were recognized as not only a great place to learn for our students, but also a great place to work for our staff. And then we want to thank the community for supporting the referendum in November to expand John Long Middle School. So we were able to do a groundbreaking ceremony in October. And if you ever want to see a mess happen very quickly, I encourage you to bring 4th graders, especially board members, 4th graders, and let them throw dirt. Like they loved it. But what a great, that's going to be we selected some students from student council from our 2 elementary schools that will be the incoming class next year as John Long Middle School expands. So John Long Middle School will go from 6th, 7th, and 8th grade to 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And so we had a great groundbreaking that goes with that. There's a lot of progress that's going on. It's now you're starting to go up. So now it's getting exciting. Before they're just doing the foundation and it's sort of hard to see. But on Monday they delivered the steel. And what's amazing is the steel is 5 days early. So our project is actually ahead of schedule and we're under budget. Like 2 things you don't usually hear, and it's great to hear. So we're actually looking at, in June, being able to have our incoming, there'll be 5th graders next year, being able to have them come over and see those new spaces before they head home for summer vacation, with the idea then the new construction is done. So as we start the summer, they move into remodeling the middle school and the areas that need to be remodeled to accommodate those additional students. So the crane is there. Steel was delivered on Monday. Yesterday at like 2 o'clock, we did an aerial view of it, and you can see the structure going up. In our meeting this morning, our weekly meeting, we were told that at the end of the day today, 40% of the steel will be up. They'll start putting steel studs in between those beams on Monday, unless it's going to be 2 degrees and -5. then it might be Wednesday, because Monday and Tuesday are going to be really cold. But we're ahead of schedule, we're under budget, we're on track to have this accomplished, which is great. A reminder that we are adding extra spaces in front of the John Long. So usually we run out of space, you're parking on Hickory. There's going to be double the stalls that will be available for people as they park for our main events. And you get a feel for, here it's coming off of that proposed addition that's going in place. And this is what it will look like in the spring. And so you're starting seeing it go up. Topher's already complaining about not being able to look at our camera and see this construction, because then everything's going to be going inside. Right now we're doing bi-weekly updates with our families. Once they start putting the steel in, we'll do weekly updates, because there'll be things that will be happening inside that won't be as easily viewed. But if you want to see something pretty cool, head over to John Long and see what's happening over there. Our theme this year is Everyday Heroes, and every year I try and come up with a theme to recognize our staff. And at a time in which we have a shrinking teacher pool, and we really have a shrinking pool of high-quality employees. You need to keep the employees that you have. So my goal always is, how can we keep our high-quality people, help them feel appreciated? And our theme this year is Everyday Heroes, because it goes along with our Every Student Every Day. No matter what your role is in our district, you're helping our students on a daily basis. So every month, teachers, support staff, administrators can nominate someone to be an everyday hero. This last month, we had 95 nominees. So 95 nominees. Some of them, doesn't mean it's 95 people. Some of them may have multiples because they did something special and multiple people recognized it. But 95 nominations at a very busy time of the year. In December, people nominate them. And then we select one from each of our buildings. And it could be, in the past, it's been a custodian, a secretary, teacher, whatever it may be. This past month, it's happened to be J.D. Atkins, who's a high school English teacher, Susan Zellner, special ed teacher at the middle school, Kelly Yunker, one of our first-year teachers. This is her first year. She's only been here a couple of months and already making an impact on students at Kennedy, Becky Brehan at Woodview, and Mike Kleitzine, who helps with our technology across our district. So it's an opportunity for us. We recognize them every month, and we buy them lunch. I hand deliver them lunch on a day, thank them for the years of service, thank them for their contributions. And everyone who gets a nomination also gets a sheet about like this that Kara makes up that puts the comment that the person made for them, and that gets delivered to them. So as you go into classrooms, you go into offices, you'll see people that have these up throughout their area. And it's just a nice reminder of the work that they're doing. And it's a good opportunity for people to thank their colleagues, because that's really, we all like to be thanked, and it's a good reminder that sometimes you have to spend a little effort to do that. Our student enrollment, Lester talked a little about how they're seeing steady growth. We're also seeing steady growth. You can see we're up about 50 students. Like over time, you can see incremental growth for us coming back from that 2017 where we were at the peak there, coming down to that 2021 school year, and now moving up into this year being at 2176, so higher than we had back in 2017. And even better news is that our mill rate continues to go down. So our mill rate goes down, and that's partly because evaluations are going up and so forth. But even better, and yes, Lester, I listen to you every once in a while. Your taxes that you pay towards the school are less than you paid back in 2018. So I can look at I can go onto Ozaukee County Parcel GIS, and we said this last year when we were getting ready for the referendum and how we were going to add on over $11 million and it wouldn't impact tax bills. And some people were like, well, I don't think that's possible. How is that? My taxes have got to go up. If you go back and look at that, you type in Ozaukee County Parcel GIS, put in your address, what you paid towards school taxes is less now than you paid in 2018. So another example of our board looking at district funds, looking at taxpayer dollars, and being good stewards of money and helping keep the costs down while still providing a high quality education and great benefits for our staff. And as we think of our students, every student every day, Luca Nicolai is a senior at GHS. He's one of 20 students in the state that's been moved forward in the National U.S. Presidential Scholars Program. So congratulations to Luca. Big honor to be one of 20 seniors in the state of Wisconsin, move forward in that way. And then some of the things that we celebrated last year. Last spring, we partnered with the Chamber to celebrate 53024 Day on May 30th, 2024. Sticker that was developed that we passed out across the district and celebrated with them. We had our valedictorian, Hailey Markoff, is on the left here. She was valedictorian. She is now attending the University of Minnesota to study astrophysics. Juhi Jha was our salutatorian and is studying, she went to the University of Michigan, is studying biology and pre-med. And then we had our auto students, seniors Aiden Lamas and Michael Sewell. They won the 31st annual Atom Technicians of Tomorrow competition. 22nd team from Grafton to finish in first place in this competition. So Carl Hader, longtime teacher, coach with these students having success. Nick Fullington coming in, continuing that success, working really hard with our students, providing them that great hands-on experience. We had our advanced culinary students here with Dr. Underley being recognized as a finalist for the Whipping Up Wellness competition that they hold, and then the solar eclipse. We had elementary, middle, and high school students that were able to safely experience the solar eclipse and a great life memory with their friends. This past fall, we had our football team win their 3rd conference championship in a row. Homecoming week is always a fun time in the community. Thank you for the businesses that get involved with us, but whether it's the band performing at half or at the parade that night, the parade occurring with we have, now we have everyone across the district, so it's Woodview and Kennedy staff that are engaged in that. The Powder Puff game that occurs that night, students dressing as their teacher, making fun of them, was always fun. And then in the winter, we have our musical of Schoolhouse Rock Live Junior. One of our most popular events is our high school students doing the gearing up for winter for our seniors. So they provide free service to seniors, getting their cars ready for the winter season. And then a highlight for me that I always enjoy seeing is our Veterans Day at John Long and at the high school, where we celebrate our veterans, students putting flags on their trucks or cars, and then just having our veterans though, and students not being asked to have standing ovations for them. It's just like, it always is like a cool ending to the day. And the seniors drive that. So it's a really cool experience and something I enjoy seeing every year. And Scott and his team do a really nice job with that. We just finished our district spelling bee, which is always fun to see kids spell words that I've never heard of. We had our annual Kids to Kids toy drive again, and then hopefully around the Christmas time you were able to hear our chamber singers as they were out in the community singing and caroling. It's always fun to see them engaged. And then just some other pictures of students learning and making memories with friends, and which is what education's about, is making those connections, having great experiences. Grafton's a great place to be. I'm fortunate I live in the village, and so I get to experience some of the pieces that not only as an employee, but also as a resident in the district. And having my own kids go through this system, couldn't be more proud of what they're doing in their lives, what teachers are doing in our kids' lives, and what they'll do in the future, I know will be great as well. So we appreciate the partnership we have. We often say great communities equal great schools, and it's vice versa, and we appreciate the partnership we have with you as chamber members, and we look forward to a great 2025. So thanks for letting me share a little about us.
Awesome. First, I think you probably heard thank you 100 times, but I'm going to continue the thank you. So thank you to each and every one of you for attending today. But more importantly, thank you for allowing the Grafton Chamber to get to our 50th anniversary. So it's amazing. Our commitment to advocacy is driven by our belief in the potential of our community and the businesses that call it home. We understand that a thriving business environment is the foundation of a strong and vibrant community, and we are dedicated to ensuring that every business has the opportunity to succeed. As our community grows, and I think you all seen that it's growing, we only see potential. New in 2024, we had muffins and members. And as you said, we have one coming up on the 21st. It's an opportunity, it's a free networking opportunity for all of you. We expanded our social media campaign, and here's a number for you. Our Facebook reach for 2024 was 252,000. We were able to expand our Instagram by 103%. We have new resident welcome bags and literature racks for our member materials. So if you're a member and you don't have materials in the office, bring them on over. We have a refreshed chamber office, and if anybody's been with us on this long journey, it's been 1.5 years, and it is done. So we are thrilled, so stop on by and have a cup of coffee. We did a Leap of Kindness Day. We did a zip code day. We revitalized the Downtown Business Association. With so much movement downtown, we've seen the need. They actually hosted an event in December, and then we are going to have an event starting in March called Second Saturdays, and it'll run throughout the year. So look for some specials, some fun activities with that. We also revitalized the Manufacturers Alliance of Ozaukee County. We have teamed up with our educational institutes and our manufacturers to introduce our youth to a career in manufacturing. And with that, we need to revitalize that there are other options than a 4-year degree. We are always excited to be able to welcome new businesses to our community and assist with ribbon cuttings. So we were busy this year. We had BSG Coffee and Cocktails Lounge, Ember Social, Five Guys, Full Bloom Wellness, Hot Works of Grafton, Inventors Brew Pub, Cara Marie Boutique, Sheer Color by Rochelle, T-Mobile, and then lastly, Feith Family Y. We were able to do the ribbon cutting on their new exercise facility. Chamber gift checks continue to be a great perk for our members and for the Grafton community. This year we did almost 30,000 in checks. And thank you to those of you that think of us when you are purchasing awards for your employees, friends, and family. 2024 brought a wide variety of programming for our members in the community. We hosted a breakfast honoring 4 under 40 outstanding young professionals with keynote speaker Alex Yuhan, founder of Country and the Bird. We hosted our annual meeting where we honored our outstanding business, Kohler Credit Union. I believe you guys are here if you want to stand. Our outstanding business person, Slava Kroll of K Comfort. Our outstanding career educator, Doug Arndt. We are proud to work with these incredible leaders who are very deserving of the recognition and who are still giving back to our community. Our annual events continue to grow and change to meet the needs of our community and our members. Our golf outing in September at Edgewater, and thank you, Jody, for hosting us. It's kind of wet if you were there. But I think it was a great day for some and an amazing day for others. Watch out, our golf tournament this year is going to be a little different, so stay tuned for that one. We hosted Zip Code Day in May. I'll highlight that a little more later. We collaborate with OED for Mastering and Marketing. It's a 4-part series. We also pair up with the neighboring chambers to bring you Once, which is Ozaukee Networking Chamber Exchange. On Leap Day, I visited local chamber members and surprised some unsuspecting customers. We gave over $500 away that day. That was really fun when I got to pay for people's meals, or they were purchasing something, so it was fun. In August, we did Ladies' Night Out, and it went very well. And it was quite a sight to see. Everybody was dressed as Barbie. So there was over 400 Barbies running around downtown and visiting more than 50 participating vendors. Your chamber is a sponsor of several local organizations and a partner in a variety of community events. We were the presenting sponsor for the 2024 Gala Music in the Park series. The chamber also serves as a sponsor for the fireworks, the biggest and the best. The chamber brings together our business community and local residents through productions and financial support of many well-known events, including Zero to Grafton, holidays, Fall into Grafton. We will continue to do that. Again, we teamed up with Grafton School District to honor our first responders and military during a Blackhawks football game. Our huge summer favorite is our food trucks, and they will return in 2025. We continue to partner with the school district in multiple activities, one of them being the STEM program at John Long Middle School. This past year, we built, they built benches for the parks. So you might see them throughout our community. And that was done through the collaboration with Port Washington State Bank, so thank you, and Keller Construction. We also do the Color Blast with the Grafton Education Foundation. Our efforts in the area of tourism promotion and tourism development continues to focus on our many outdoor assets, including our parks and our interurban trail. Here are a few examples of our social media campaign, as well as the postcards that we had available at Zip Code Day and still available in our office. Milena is always looking at new ways to promote the great community. I know that tourism is coming back in full force as we see an increase in hotel stays. All right, this is a once-in-a-lifetime event. How many of you were able to attend or participate in any way in the Zip Code Day? Awesome. Like I said, it was a once-in-a-lifetime event. We had our United States Postal Service came down, and they actually had a postmark that was designed by our office. It was exclusive postmark you only could get on that day, so that was really cool. We had live music, t-shirt sales. We had a gentleman that was doing balloons. If you guys need a balloon guy, this is your man. I don't know if you can see it, it's kind of blurry, but that's bingo. And that kid rode home on a bike with that. It was pretty entertaining, so. We gave away loads of prizes. In addition, we gave, as well as the chamber members were also giving away prizes. We gave away $530.24, you guessed it, so. And they did that, and they were eligible to win because we had a scavenger hunt. Our holiday events are a community favorite while drawing in thousands from throughout Wisconsin. We kick things off with our annual Shop Local campaign called Local Edge Holiday Mailer. We reach over 27,000 households and businesses throughout Grafton, Cedarburg, Port Washington, Saukville, and sections of Fredonia and Belgium. It began to look a lot like Christmas in Grafton when the 2024 holiday event celebration kicked off with our tree lighting ceremony. While the weather outside was quite brisk, all who attended had fun. Our storybook decorating contest was a great success. Businesses and nonprofits put their own spin on them. That one's 5 guys, so if you didn't have an opportunity to see that. Our big shout out today is to Nick Fullington, who I think Jeff mentioned, from Grafton High School, tech ed teacher. He built book towers to greet you as you came to the Paramount Plaza or the Lumberyard Plaza. And now those have been donated to the library, so good use. The truth be told, they give us the books in the first place, so we're just returning them so we don't get a fine. I also want to take this time to thank Grafton's Department of Public Works for making sure each book and the multiple trees stayed in place. And when they didn't, they were quick to fix them. Dan McKelvey, if you call me one more time and tell me my tree fell. And I want to thank Sandhill Tree Farm for the evergreens. Thank you to Lester Bartel for assisting us in getting the hay bales to make Santa. And thank you to Leslie from my team for helping me paint that big fella. You guys might recognize the face in that picture. Does anybody know? Amanda made our slide from the school district. It was shared with me this year that, oh no, I skipped one, sorry Steve. So then we moved on to our reception, where we honored Steve Nada, our outstanding community citizen, and then the advocates of Ozaki. Both Steve and the advocates continue to make a difference in our community. And if you do not know Steve, take the opportunity to introduce yourself afterwards. Steve, can you stand? So. It was shared with me this year that the people, the atmosphere, and the decorations at Breakfast with Santa is something to experience. If you have not been to that, it's like a step back to the 70s. It's just really cool, the decorations. The smiles and giggles of not only the children, but the adults can't help but put you in the holiday mood. This event is not only sponsored by Horicon Bank, but their staff goes above and beyond to make this a wonderful event. Becky, if you and your staff could stand. Is it just Becky? Okay. They're in your pocket, right? Over 500 enjoyed pancakes, crafts, photos with parade costume characters, but more importantly, a visit with Santa and Mrs. Claus. I'm pushing. Oh, I might have went too far. Nope. Thanks to the support of, I did. Sorry. Thanks to the support of many of our local businesses, the 44th annual Grafton Christmas Parade filled with lots of fun. We could not pull off the largest Christmas parade in Southeast Wisconsin without the financial support of our community, but as well as those that provided vehicles to keep our spectators as well as our participants safe. It takes a lot to make this happen, this parade. Quadzilla, also known as AJ Dillon, was so impressed. He could not believe the kindness and the spirit of Grafton. Special thanks to our dedicated group of volunteers on our holiday committee, the Village Police and Fire Departments, Department of Public Works, and our Parks and Recs Department. At the end of the day, as far as Christmas parades go, it had a storybook ending with an incredibly built Santa sleigh whose fireplace smelled like cotton candy. We were at a holiday event meeting, and Sharon McKelvey is our chairman, and she says, "Be cool if it could smell like cotton candy." Well, guess what? Nick Fullington of the Grafton School District made that happen. So, like I said before, nobody does it better than Grafton. We had an overwhelming response from the Grafton community for our 5th annual holiday home decorating contest sponsored by Bank 59. And Josh is here as well. Our holiday events committee served as judges and were able to tour the homes at the beginning of December. 2025 is going to be amazing. The Grafton Area Chamber of Commerce, Tourism Promotion and Development is excited to bring to the Village of Grafton Memorial Park an 8 kayak self-serve station. This is going to be awesome. You'll be able to download the app and rent them right on the Milwaukee River. So kind of a fun thing. We are the only community that will have them in Ozaukee County. We always have to be first, I'm just saying. A new video series created and produced by our Tourism Promotion Special Events Coordinator, Melina Struckman. It's titled Getting Around Grafton. So weekly, she will feature our beautiful community and chamber member businesses. So if you want to be one of those chamber member businesses, Melina's in the back. The Grafton Area Chamber of Commerce has partnered with Village of Grafton to light up our community for the holidays. So look up to the sky in 2025. I'm sorry if you liked the wreaths. You might get to talk to Chad or Jesse and see if you can purchase those. So. What'd you say? We'll just give them away. You just give them away. I think one of the 3 candles might work. We will also be compiling a handheld wedding guide. It's actually put together with a gold ring that I say is diamond studded. So it'll feature venues, salons, florists, lodging destinations, entertainment, printers, and designers. So that'll be coming out soon. Watch for the information on that. And please do not forget that your chamber will be celebrating their 50th anniversary throughout the year. Stay tuned for numerous opportunities for you to participate in planned events. Our anniversary is not just a celebration. It's a reflection of our commitment to growth, progress, and making a positive impact. It is also a reminder that with passion, perseverance, and a shared vision, anything is possible. At this time, I'd like to ask Dan, Lester, and Jeff to join me to answer any questions you may have. Also, on your table, you will find a keychain with actually this quote. So we invite all of you to take that home. And thank you to Chartwell, I know that's been said, the Grafton School District for the fine meal, Kim, Bloom and Olive for our beautiful centerpieces. And I also want to thank Gabe Selko, he's in the back, and he is recording this. He is part of an apprentice program with the Grafton School District. So, Lester's going to sit in back, and I'll have to run the mic to him if he has any questions. Does anybody have, I get you up, hopefully we have at least one question. Okay. Might just someone make up a question. Anyone have a question? Not one?
Okay, you know.
It's all right. Jeff's kind of.
I'd like to hear what you guys are most excited for the coming year.
In the district?
Yeah.
The question is, what are we most excited for in the coming year? And as we look at expanding John Long and adding fifth graders to that, bringing our parents along with that, bringing our teachers over there, having a successful transition is what a lot of our focus is on as we get ready for that. It's a big piece. Other districts have 5-8 schools, but when you don't have a 5-8 school, it's change, and change is hard. And so we're excited for that. I'm excited for this class in 2025. There's some really great kids in this class and what they're going to do at the second semester as we get ready for graduation and the work that they're doing now. There's just a lot of great things occurring. Those are things that are the visible pieces. But as you look at our being recognized as a top workplace, look forward to being recognized again with that and continuing to have high staff retention. It's just really critical for us to keep the high quality people we have in place in our district. So those are things that come off my mind right away. Excited that we have a board that's coming back with 7 people that are running again. Blair and Mark are running again. As I look over there, I see that. I mean, that's exciting because I don't have to worry about my bosses changing. That's positive from my perspective.
I want to thank all of you for taking time out of your day to spend with us in the 53024. Have a great day, everyone.